been swimming. I like being battered by the waves. I like being so cold that the only thing you can think about is how cold you are, how your whole body feels numb. When I'm in the water, it all just sort of goes away for a bit. Did you know jellyfish don't need sperm to reproduce? They reproduce asexually through this process called parthenogenesis. There's loads of jellyfish washed up on the beach at the moment. As a kid, I refused to believe they were dead when they were washed up like that, but I googled it the other day, and apparently, because they can't take in any seawater to breathe, they do die quite quickly. But a jellyfish's offspring is like a clone of itself because it only has that one set of genes. Why don't I want it this way? This way with all of the money and the doctors and the hormones being pumped into Jess. If we go through with this, her body will become like a machine that pumps out hormones like one of those specially bred chickens. I can't stop thinking about that. And Jess is so brave. She's so brave. And after all of this, we could have nothing. One of those little embryos could start to develop and then just stop. And I know that that can happen with any pregnancy, but it's just scary, and it's not like we can just try again and fuck and give it another go. Like, we don't have any money. In some clinics, they give you a free round of IVF if you donate your eggs. When they take some out, they take some extra out and then they give it to somebody else. They're capitalising off of women's bodies, aren't they? Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, the fact that it makes it cheaper and you get to help somebody else. I just don't think this is how I'm supposed to be feeling. Sometimes I can't believe Jess wants to have a baby with me. When I think about that part, every part of me gets warm, even after being in the sea. I wasn't sure I wanted kids. Actually, I think I was so sure I wanted them that I refused to let myself think about it. People don't really ask about it that much when you're gay, so it's just kind of easy to turn that off. I still remember when she first asked me. We were at my parents' house, and we just had slow, quiet morning sex. And I'm really shy about people hearing, and I especially didn't want my parents to hear. And I could see outside through the curtains that it was foggy, and I could hear the sea rolling over. I love those moments before she speaks, when you can hear her brain ticking and her teeth chewing slightly on her cheek as she thinks. "Should we have a kid, Robs?" she said. And we'd only been together for a couple of months, so I put a pillow over her face and told her to fuck off. But I loved her for saying it. And ever since then, I've wanted Jess to carry my baby. I keep phrasing it like that, but she can't carry my baby. Not in the way I want her to. She keeps saying that we should be grateful, that it's great that there's so many ways that we can do it now, and I know there is. That's all anybody ever says to me, like how great it is, and it is great. So why do I feel so frustrated? When the jellyfish get washed up on the beach like that, they look so fragile, like they're too alien for this world. Kids used to pick them up and throw them at each other, and I hated it when they did that. I touched one just now as I got out of the ocean. I didn't hurt it, well, it's dead, but I wasn't aggressive with it. I wanted to see how it felt. So I just ran my 2 fingers over it. like that, and it was so soft and sort of comforting. I keep having this dream where I'm photographing Jess underwater and she's pregnant. The bump just starting to show, and she looks so luminous floating there, like she's the cousin of some bioluminescent sea algae or something. I take the photos, and each time the flash muddies the water. And I have this sense of knowing how we got there. Like, you know, how dreams have their own bizarre internal sense of knowing. And how we got there was that my egg merged with Jess's. And I don't know the exact mechanics of what our bodies were doing, but I could just see this kind of bright, jellyfishy blur. But it was our eggs, mine and Jess's, and they just sort of seeped together. And I am so obsessed with looking at her in this dream, so awestruck and in love. And then I can't seem to keep hold of that feeling when I wake up. It sort of drifts away, and I'm just left there, beached on the bed. Meg started showing now. She's about 18 weeks. And I'm being a good friend, you know, going to all her scans with her, bringing her grapes, because apparently she's obsessed with them now, but only the green ones. I mean, she needs it. Luke's not around that much. I'm happy for her. Of course I am. She's my best friend, and I love her. But she says she's got thrush all the time, which sounds bloody horrible. And Jess is being so sweet and so supportive. She's never anything but sweet, but I can tell that it's hard for her. It's hard to explain how it feels to not be able to give someone something, even though you ache for it so much. Meg was convinced she didn't want kids, but it just happens like that, doesn't it? For straight people. And everyone keeps telling her, congratulations, and asking her what gender the baby is, which is annoying because it doesn't even matter. And what is even more annoying is that her and Luke had practically just met. So she was into all of this natural cycles app, and in absolutely classic Meg fashion, she fucking timed it wrong and let Luke come inside of her, and then she got knocked up when she wasn't even meaning to. And now she's got this baby, and with no plan for anything, with no plan for the baby's name or for the colour of the nursery, and Jess's mum has already started knitting a blanket for our non-existent, maybe never-existent baby, and Meg's just got this little human growing bigger and bigger inside of her, and it was an accident. We don't get to have an accident. Maybe that's not fair to say, but it's the truth. She wasn't even sure if she was going to keep it. You know, sometimes I really feel like it could happen when we're fucking. When it's really good. Like when I look at Jess and we're both naked and sweaty and turned on and in love, I really feel like I could get her pregnant. Like, it could work, just from my fingers. And I think, how can this not be enough? This incredible, beautiful, heart-throbbing connectedness. This way our bodies just slot together. This way that is just so right and so natural, and how God fucking intended. And if he, she, they didn't intend it that way, well then they're wrong, quite frankly, because how can this not be enough? I wish I could be different for her. I wish I could be the one booking the appointments and coming up with the baby names, and I wish it didn't matter to me how we did it, but the fact is that it does. It can't be this private, sacred thing. I don't want to involve other people. And she tries not to, but she looks at me with such disappointment sometimes. And she is the most understanding person on the planet, and even she doesn't get it. I don't blame her, I don't get it. Maybe if I did, I'd understand what I'm supposed to be feeling. She asked me if I thought I might be trans, and if that's why it's so painful to me that I can't get her pregnant. But it's not about that. It's not about gender or wanting a penis or sperm. It's not about any of those things. I just wish that it was possible without it. And I know it's pointless because there's no way that it can happen. It's like standing at the end of a fishing line and waiting for a bite from a fish that doesn't exist. That's a bad analogy. Jess thinks I'm stubborn. And I know she wonders whether I actually want to go through with it at all. And I've thought it too, whether it's because I'm scared or because actually deep down I don't want it. But I do. I do want it. But I can't go to this appointment next week. We've waited ages. Jess has already started reading all the books.